Oh, thank you for the pasta. It was a bit salty, but good. Right? I don't get it though. Like, I followed the recipe to the T. Again.
Today on the show, I have the great pleasure to welcome an inspiring Italian influencer who's making English learning fun and accessible for thousands of Italians online. Ciao, Sonia. Sonia Candy, should I say?
Ciao. Wow, I love the introduction.
I'm a great fan of your channel. You have these really fun interviews that you do. Not interviews, you have these sketches to teach English. How does that work? For the people who don't know you, what's the secret sauce of your channel?
I do infotainment. So it's entertainment, but I teach something. So I'm an English teacher. I'm not an entertainer. At heart, I'm an English teacher, but
you're an entertainer. You are an entertainer. You are.
But deep down, I'm an English teacher. But how can I make it fun, more effective? I have to make it entertaining. So making funny skits or having characters. I have these characters that misunderstand each other. So then people laugh. I have different formats. I translate from the Roman dialect into English. I use songs, quizzes. I love it. And I think it's more fun than the traditional method.
And you have these three characters. You have the cool one who speaks English perfectly, the other one who does not understand exactly. Do they have a name, these three characters?
That's a very common question, and they don't. I cannot give them a name yet, because in my mind, they're all Sonia. They're all me. So I cannot be, okay, that's Sonia and that's Laura. I can't. They're all Sonia. So to me, it's Sonia 1, Sonia 2, Sonia 3. So in
each of them has a personality, doesn't it?
It's the same personality, but they're all little parts of who I am. I am the teacher. I want to teach you something, but I'm also the girl from Rome who enjoys simple things and having a pizza with friends. And when I had to learn English. So at the beginning, I didn't know how to speak English. So there's a part of me that still feels that way. Like I didn't feel what people feel when they try to learn a language, especially English.
Are you telling us that you are feeling insecure sometimes in English?
Not in English. Well, sometimes, I guess. But sometimes even in Italian, when you're very tired and you're, oh my God, I hope this sounds good. So I guess that's just part of life. But now English, I guess it's good. I feel insecure in Japanese still, so I know the feeling very well.
Because you just moved to Japan, right?
Yeah, I used to live here, but so far, I don't know, I feel it's the best country I've lived in, so I want to be here a little bit longer.
What do you like about Japan?
Okay, I think I love how easy it is to get things done. Okay, not easy, like they have bureaucracy, etc. But people follow the rules, so you don't have to fight to get things done. In Rome, you go to the post office and you have to be like, oh, excuse me, just one question, 2 minutes. Oh, can I park here real quick? I can't do that. So here in Japan, everybody respects the other. And I love that. Also, it's still like a huge city. I'm in Tokyo, and you can find anything. There's art, food, entertainment, people. I love people. So it's very entertaining, stimulating.
And what is your main activity when you go after work? What do you do? What is your main hobby?
So I like to go out with my friends. I like to eat out. I have a lot of friends, very sociable. So that's my favorite activity, eating. I'm Italian.
Cool. So you're foodie. So tell me, how do you get the ideas for your videos?
That's so funny. Sometimes I wake up and I have the whole video in my head. This is what I'm gonna do. Sometimes it's something people say, my friends and family, they say something wrong and I'm like, that's interesting. Or maybe I'm watching TV and I'm like, that's a cool idiom, I could use that. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're not creative. You don't have that idea. I just sit down and I think about something useful. I want to make a video today. What's something that I didn't know when I got my BA, for example. That's a good tip, and then I do that. So I have different methods. But the one I like the most is when I wake up and I have the reel in my brain. I love that. So easy.
Well, okay. And how much time does it take for you to do a video like this? What's your process?
Okay, I think the answer will surprise you, but around 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes tops.
Wow. Really? And it's done. Every of your video is done not from the idea, right? I mean, from the idea.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, because it's very natural. I don't do my makeup for the video or get dressed for the video. I'm like, I have an idea. I'm wearing a tank top, no makeup, I'm doing it. As long as I have good lighting, it's fast.
Okay, because when I looked at the videos, I thought, no, there's preparation, everything, but you just go for it like this. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Same thing for me. I put my most beautiful t-shirt and I just get going, you know? Do you know what this t-shirt is about, by the way? This t-shirt, it says Sholti Borshi. It's a present from a friend. It's basically becoming the national dish of Lithuania. It's a beetroot soup, quite like.
That's cool, supporting your friend and the local cuisine.
And the local cuisine, exactly. Now, speaking about supporting, you have a lot of creativity. And as you know, we work in a very cool and sexy industry, the insurance industry. How would you make it even more engaging to speak about insurance topics instead of English, for example?
Well, you could make a lot of funny skits about risk. Oh, this could happen, that could happen, and if that happens, you might need this. That'd be my style, probably. Make it funny.
And do you have any idea in Tokyo what kind of scenario would you record there?
That's something that happened to my aunt when we first came here the first time years ago. And English wasn't a big thing back then. Now, even restaurants have English, but at the time they didn't. So you know when you go to the sushi restaurant, if it's a kaiten sushi, you have the hot tea. There's a sort of little sink that you push with your glass and hot water, boiling hot water comes out of that sink. We didn't know,
yes.
So we just pushed it. And of course, she got burned.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't a big thing, but still, risk is everywhere.
Risk is everywhere, yeah. And it even has a cultural component. I like that. Back to you posts. What is the most viral post you've ever created?
Oh my God, I don't know. I've never checked. I have some videos that have millions of views, but to be honest, it's usually the most random video. I've been doing this for years, and sometimes I'm put in effort, I put in time, and I make a super cool video, and that's an okay video. And then sometimes I have the most random idea, and I'll shoot it, and it doesn't look good, and the lighting's not good, and that goes viral. To this day, I don't know. I don't have the secret. The secret is keep posting and making good content, but I cannot understand how a video goes viral.
That's a big statement, because I was hoping to get the secret sauce from that, but no.
I don't have it. If you make good content, it shows somehow. Every now and then, one of your videos goes viral. But I can't predict which one.
So it's a question of quantity and regularity. For people who want to create their own channels, what would you say is an important thing they should consider?
You have to make content you're proud of. I have to believe in my content. Sometimes I'm looking at other kinds of content that go viral or that are like trending that moment, but I don't believe they're good quality. So a part of me is like, oh, Sonia, you should try. Maybe that'll work. But if I'm not sure about that content, that doesn't go well with my personality, the way I am, I'd rather not do it and just keep posting something that makes me proud.
And it has to be authentic too, right? It's you.
Yeah, that has to be me. Sometimes, you know how I make English and Roman, from the Roman dialect to the English? A lot of people are like, you shouldn't use Roman when you teach English because Roman is just a dialect. But that's me, and that makes me happy. And I think it's good content because you can translate that Roman phrase into your own dialect and then still use the English. So it's still useful content. So I do me, and I think that's a good piece of advice because some people try to copy other people, but if you copy, that's never good. It'll never be as good as the original.
So on that one, you speak about copying. We actually get a question from one viewer. Do you think language technology is at a point where it can fully replace human teachers?
Oh, AI teachers?
Copying you, for example. We have a digital Sonia.
I don't think so. Not yet. At least not yet. I use it. I use AI sometimes, especially with Japanese. I want to study more, so I want to take more lessons. And sometimes it's cheaper, sometimes it's more convenient because you can do it anytime. So I think it's a good tool. But still, I feel like when I have a lesson with a human being, I get more out of that lesson. Even just this, that sometimes when you make a mistake, you feel a little bit embarrassed. I know you shouldn't because it's your teacher, but when you're like, oh, why did I make that mistake? That's a perfect way to learn. You make a mistake, you feel embarrassed, you've learned. With AI, I don't really feel that. I was like, okay, well, that was a mistake.
Okay, it's just a robot, basically.
I think, well, I use AI a lot, but I think it's not at that level where they can fully replace an interaction with another human being. It's one of the tools. You could read, you could take lessons, you could do flashcards, you can use AI. I do it, but I do all these things.
I know sometimes you can also even use AI to speak to it. I mean, you could have an avatar interacting, correcting you.
Yeah.
You don't see this as an issue for now?
Not really. I think it's just part of the process and it's good. It's a new tool. I don't think it's an issue yet. I still need the real interaction with a human being. And then almost every day I have my little lesson with my AI teacher.
For Japanese?
Yeah.
About Japanese, now you're building this company in Japan. Can you really understand what you're doing over there?
This is me being crazy. So after... Okay, so everything started after I left Japan. I was living in Japan and I was working for a Japanese company. I really loved the country, but I didn't like to work for a Japanese company or working for someone else. So when I left Japan, I was, all right, you know what I want to do? Like, I started writing down all the things that I wanted and the things that I didn't want. And I wanted freedom, being able to travel. I wanted to be in charge of my own time because I'm okay with working like 10 hours a day if I need to. But if one day I feel like working 0, I want to be able to do that. I started doing that, writing it down, and I'm like, what could I do that helps me get to this result? Okay, I could teach online. So it all started when I left Japan, and I was able to like do it, and it grew over the years. And now I'm happy with what I'm doing, selling video courses, and I'm like, all right, time for a new adventure. What about moving back to Japan, starting my own company, and maybe trying to teach English to the Japanese people? Because so far I teach English to Italians. But I'm good at teaching to Japanese people. Not only do I speak the language, but I can also understand their struggles. I've done it in the past. So I want to do that.
And I'm sure they can relate quite well to you, right?
They can usually open up. You know how in the Japanese culture, there's like this ademai, depending on the surroundings, but they don't show their true feelings. I feel like they're able to open up to me because I'm more like open, and with time, they know that I'm a foreigner, so I won't judge them if they tell me what they feel. I was able to connect with a lot of my students in the past, and they're still my friends.
And you make people feel comfortable normally anyway, so that's a Sonia recipe, right? You know, we speak about risks. and you're a young female entrepreneur in Japan. How do you look at risk in your life, by the way?
It's part of the process. The risk is part of the process. So what I do, I'm not reckless. I'm not like, let's get, like, okay, I look at the risk, I evaluate the risk. If I feel like the risk is too high, and if I failed, that'd be a disaster. Like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. But if I feel like I'd be able to handle a failure, because that failure is always in the equation. So I cannot be like, okay, whenever I launch a video course, like I put in time, effort, money, might go well, might not. I've had video courses that did well and some video courses not so well. But like after evaluating everything, I feel like I want to take the risk. It's part of the process. In Japanese, they say shoganai. Shoganai is like,
Shoganai.
it is what it is. It can't be helped.
So your approach to risk is shoganai.
If I feel like the risk is too high, then you might want to think whether it's worth doing that thing or not. But you can try and minimize risk, of course. That's something you always do, like making sure the product is good, making sure that you're working with the right people. Like, I'm not good at everything. I'm not good with numbers and stuff like that. Marketing, it's not really my thing. So I always try to go to professionals so that they can help me. But even like when you do everything right, you try to minimize it, but the risk is still there. So at one point, it is shoganai. You know what I mean?
Yes. And as an entrepreneur, you speak about that you're not good at everything. So you've learned to delegate.
Yeah. Oh, you have to.
If you have a young woman, a young man who wants to also become an influencer, maybe in the language world, what would be your advice to them?
Okay, I'll share my experience. So I'm not very business minded. I don't like numbers. I don't like strategies. I don't like marketing and these things. So for a long time, I thought that I couldn't have my own business because these are things that are important when you have your business, right? Like knowing the numbers, knowing the strategy, knowing the. But you can still start. Surround yourself with good people who know what they're doing, and then you'll grow into those things. I'm not saying that you should be like, oh, I don't understand anything and I'll just keep being like that. You have to learn slowly. You can do it, but you can start and then you'll grow into it.
So you grow into it, and starting, I think, is very important for entrepreneurs. Some people have the tendency maybe of, and I did this, overthinking it too much. You said that you're good at the marketing, but it seems that you get good sponsors or you find sponsors. How do you do that? Give us the secret sauce again there.
It's funny because I don't look for sponsors. Right now, I have like one. I only want sponsors that I like. So if I don't like the sponsor, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So usually I want to work with a sponsor for a long time, and usually sponsors I find like valid, like that's a good product. So they found me.
Well, cool. That sounds like the perfect combination. Okay.
Yeah, Google was like, I want to have my thing, and sponsors only if the product's good, because I want my followers to trust me. If I try to sell to them something that I don't really like, how can they trust me? No.
Trust and authenticity, that's key.
For me, it is.
Good message, for the insurance industry too. I mean, that's also what it is based on. Back to languages, Sonia. You have this stop giving me lip service video. I trim out. There was one which is quite fun, and I can say it. It's like you have this little story where I prepared this shit because I wanted to focus on the beach resources with the wrong accents. How did you get the idea to do that one?
Oh, well, I thought about like common mistakes Italians make that can actually ruin communication or get in the way. That, like for the pronunciation, it's experience and creativity. Sometimes when it's like an idiom, like, to give lip service or stuff like that. that's something that sometimes I hear if I'm watching an interview, YouTube, a podcast, a movie, and I'm like, whew, 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 whew. That could be a nice little skit, and I could teach something.
And for teaching, what is the major mistake Italians do when they speak English? Like, what is the one that you say, easy to spot?
I guess pronunciation is a big thing. It is. Because we don't really pay attention to it. Italians think that it's just like one little thing that you can do on the side once your grammar is perfect. Because that's how we learn Italian. Italian is all about like grammar, 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 grammar. Why? There's a reason. Because grammar is the most difficult part of the Italian language. But for English, I feel like pronunciation is one of the hardest things of the English language. So you should actually start learning pronunciation at the beginning of your English journey. So that's definitely one thing. Also, there are some grammar mistakes that we always make. Like, it's still hard to understand how the present perfect works, like these specific things. But I find them easy to fix because our Italian brain is usually like grammar oriented. And, well, vocabulary, sometimes like we have some default friends, like fabric or actually or these things. You speak Italian, so you know.
Yeah, and in French we have the same thing. Do you ever feel pressure before recording something?
Yeah, today.
Today, with me. Really?
Yeah, because I feel like I had to be more professional, but I'm usually like very easy, haha.
So do you feel pressure? Come on, the guy's got a pink t-shirt. I hope it's not going to be too tough. Okay, interesting.
No. It's been nice. But like sometimes when it's live, because when it's live, like if you make a mistake, it is what it is. Too late. So for years, I did. Do you know RDS? It's like a famous Italian radio thing. Oh,
yes,
you know
yes.
it. Had
and
a
also
little,
your shows there.
yeah, and like that was, whew, you have to be perfect. You only have 5 minutes to entertain. You cannot make mistakes. And even though like I really like the show, sometimes I did feel nervous before. But when I was in my 20s, I was a singer for an orchestra. Like a famous Italian orchestra with like traditional music that's called Orchestra Casa Dei. And I did it for 3 years. And that taught me so much. Like before a show, before a concert, I'd be so nervous at the beginning. And at the end of the 3 years, I was like, okay, like, oh yeah, it's another show. And if something happens, like I'll be able to handle it on stage.
Okay.
If your microphone dies, if you forget the lyrics, if you make a mistake, like that happens. And then you learn how to handle these things. And so you feel more calm.
Boosting confidence for influencers, but also when you learn a language. In both cases, that's very important. Sometimes I'm learning this new language, I don't dare expressing it, I don't dare starting it. So I think you have to really accept that you will at some point look a bit ridiculous.
Yes.
And that's a great lesson of modesty, I think, from languages that I learned. You are not perfect and you will be ridiculous. So get on with it and move.
Yeah. With anything pretty much, like even dancing. We met each other because we were dancing, right? And I'm not good, but
You
I'm
are. No. Okay, Sonia, you are fantastic. She's a fantastic dancer. Amazing.
I like it. I enjoy it. And that's nice. But my technique still not quite there. But I don't care. Like it's fun. It's part of the process. So you just look a little bit ridiculous sometimes. Sometimes you make mistakes. I don't care.
Enjoy. Good memories, really. It was a pleasure. All right, Sonia. Well, I could go on having a nice chat with you for another hour now. But is there anything you would like to share with our community of decision makers in the insurance world and risk world? Would you have any message for them?
I guess it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, you don't have to have it all figured out before you start. And you don't have to be good at everything. Because if you do that, you'll never start. We're not good at everything. Like, I know my strengths and my weaknesses. I'm very creative. I have charisma. I don't understand numbers. I don't like talking about money. I tend to like undersell myself sometimes. Like I know my weaknesses. So like you try and do something to improve, but you start. Because if you want everything to be perfect, you'll never start. And also be authentic. That's number one. If you try to do something but you don't feel it, you know where I feel it? I usually feel it in my stomach. I know when something is in line with who I want to be and what I want to do, like I feel it here. So if I feel it here, I'm not afraid of failure because I might fail, but I'd still be proud. And I'm proud of like just what I did, even if it doesn't go well. If you do something that's not like in line with you, and first of all, it's a struggle because you try to pretend you're someone you're not. And second of all, if it goes wrong, I think it'd be harder to handle.
Okay. Be authentic. Don't be afraid of failure. Go for it. Outsource what you cannot do where you're not very good and focus on your really big strength. I love these messages. Yeah, this is very interesting, Sonia. Last question for you. Yeah, there's another one. What can we wish you for the next 3 years? What would you like to get if we can send you some positive energy?
Okay, so 3 years is when I'd like my Japanese business. I don't do this or this, I do this. It's when I want my Japanese business to actually take off. You know, I understand the first couple of years is a little, but third year, it should be like when things started get going. And in the future, I'd like to have my academy, like my name, you know, Rosetta Stone. It's like, yeah, Sonia Candy.
Oh, yeah. Sonia Candy.
Maybe not
Tokyo,
in 3 years.
New
though.
York, Japan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not in 3 years, but it's, yeah, in the future.
Excellent. So we wish you a great Sonia Candy Academy, Tokyo. And it's been a great pleasure catching up with you. And thanks for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you.
So enjoy Tokyo. Huh? Ciao, ciao.
I'll see
Have a
you
good one.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like it and subscribe to our channel. Do you struggle to capture and share the knowledge of your experts? Contact us. We'll love to hear from you.